Hey guys, today we're going to be going over my fall TBR cart, which I actually have organized for the first time since I purchased it like a year ago. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm not an organized person at all, so to have like something in my life organized is pretty exciting. So, hi. My name's Talia. I love books. I love bandanas. I'm so glad you're at my channel today. Today we're just going to be talking about what I'm planning to read in the next few months. I've kind of dropped off of doing the TBRs the past couple months just because things have been so chaotic, so busy. I feel bad when I don't complete my TBRs. So I've kind of just dropped them for now. I don't anticipate I will read every book on this cart over the next couple of months, but these are the books I kind of have in mind. How did I choose these books? So top shelf is books from authors that I have read a book and I loved and I want more from. Middle shelf is thrillers and cozy mysteries because I have been enjoying reading both of those genres. And I feel like fall, rainy weather, like you just kind of want to like bundle up with a thriller or a cozy mystery. And then the bottom shelf, which I know you cannot see at this point, I'm gonna adjust camera angle and hopefully get it down there for that section, is nonfiction books. I will be doing like a whole video on nonfiction November, so we won't touch on those too in depth today, but I do want to show you like the possibilities or what I'm thinking about as we go into November. Okay, so let's do top shelf first because it's the shelf I'm most excited about. And we will start, let's start this way. Bookworm is here. He's helping because he is just so cute. Okay, so first we have Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is V.E. Schwab's, it's a YA. I've only read V.E. Schwab's adult novels. I've read 3 of them so far, and I love them all. They were all 5 stars, so I'm super excited to read this. This is about a girl, she's like, investigating her mom's past, and all she has is like this journal from her mom, and there's like blood spatters in it, and then somehow, I'm unclear how, she visits this place called Gallant, and it's super mysterious and creepy, and I just think it'll probably be amazing. Okay, Winter is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles. You guys know I've been talking about this for months. I'm finally gonna read number 4 in the series. It's a chunker, but so was the last one, and I got through it really quickly. Marissa Meyer can do no wrong in my eyes. So I also have another Marissa Meyer, Renegades, on my shelf. This is the beginning of the next series, and this one's like more superhero based, which the Lunar Chronicles is based more like on roughly based fairy tales, and it takes place like half on the moon, half on Earth, and this is more like superheroes, which is funny because I just read Vicious and Vengeance by V.E. Schwab, and that's more like the superhero aspect. So apparently I'm into superhero books lately, but excited for this one as well. I have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I read Night Circus recently and loved it, so I have this on my shelf. It sounds like it's whimsical and magical and atmospherical. Has a lot of magical realism in it. And there's like this labyrinth under the sea. And at one point in the description, it says like there's tunnels full of books. So how can you go wrong with tunnels full of books? I mean, that is going to be amazing. Okay, Richard Osman, The Man Who Died Twice. This is the 2nd book in the Thursday Murder Club series. I loved the 1st book in that series. It's about this like this group of people living in a retirement community, and they band together to solve murders. And it was just really cute, really funny. We read it for my book club. Whole book club enjoyed it. And yeah, I've had this for quite a while, so I'm excited to read that one. Okay, next we have The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. It's funny, I read Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman last year, and I loved it so much. I loved it. And actually, just this week, I started listening to The Anansi Brothers by Neil Gaiman, and that book is hilarious so far. I am loving that. And I haven't got to like the creepy magical part, but I feel like it's gonna be really good. So when I was putting this cart together, I was like, I have had this on my shelf for a while, and I need to add that because I really want to read some more Neil Gaiman. This one's about a man, and he goes back to his childhood home, and he's remembering like a suicide that took place when he was little, and this girl that was there, and how she promised to protect him with like these magical qualities. And I don't know, I mean, look at the cover, it looks kind of creepy, so we'll see how that one goes. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so if you haven't watched my review on Kinfolk by Sean Dietrich, just go watch it, because that book is hands down my favorite book of the year. I loved it so much. I'm now officially like obsessed with Sean Dietrich's Sean of the South is what he goes by. His writing is just beautiful. He draws from real life experiences. Books take place in the South, like, so in a way they kind of have like that like Southern hometown feel, but they go like so much deeper than that. And just the way he deals with tragedy and challenging circumstances, and he weaves like this raw sarcasm and humor through his books, and he just tackles like beautiful topics like forgiveness and unconditional love. And like, man, I get choked up still thinking about Kinfolk. Like it was so good, you guys. I loved it. So this is another book by Sean Dietrich, and I'm really excited to read this. And this is I think the main character is like a sheriff in a small town in Florida, and he's kind of doing his job, taking care of small town business in his small town. And I think a baby or a child appears somewhere, and somehow he has to be involved, I think, because he's the sheriff, and there's like this mystery surrounding this child, and then he has like some personal stuff going on as well. So I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but if it's anything like Kinfolk, which is coming out in November, actually, it was an ARC that I received for that one. I don't think Sean Dietrich is gonna let me down. He has been, I've been following his blog posts, and I've actually already read another of his collections of short stories since I read Kinfolk, and like, he just tackles, he sees humanity in a way that is like just uplifting. Like, he wants to be a positive influence to the people around him, and he does that in a way that's just like so beautiful. I love it so much. This will probably be one of the first ones I read. Okay, Recursion by Blake Crouch. I've had this one on my TBR for a little while. This is like a sci-fi. I read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I really liked it. This is like a sci-fi that has to do with like a pandemic / time traveling mystery. It sounds super weird, but so was Dark Matter, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, last author that I have read and really want to read some more is Sarah Addison Allen. This is The Girl Who Chased the Moon. I read Other Birds by her, and that book was like one of my favorites of last year. I really enjoyed that book. She does atmospherical writing. It's like she has a lot of like food imagery and like uses food to get you sucked into the book, which I really enjoy. And this one is about a girl who goes home to her childhood home, or her aunt's home or something like that. And it's like there's magical aspects to this home. So I think rooms change or become different things as she goes inside of them. And yeah, we just go from there. So I'm super curious to see what else Sarah Addison Allen has done, because Other Birds was amazing. Okay, going down to the lower shelf, I gotta adjust my feet. Oh, both my feet are asleep from sitting on them on that shelf. So I'm like crisscross applesauce now. Okay, so down to the thriller / cozy mystery section. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley and The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I got each of these. Can I even get it out? I got each of these at a library sale for $1 each. So pretty excited about these. I've never read any Lucy Foley, so but these have been like all the rage all over the place. So I'm excited to get to them. The Paris Apartment is like a I think they're both kind of locked room mysteries, actually. This one takes place in like an apartment, and her brother's missing, and she doesn't know where he is or where he went, and there's all these neighbors that she's trying to figure out like what happened with her brother. And this one, I think a murder takes place on this like island. So it kind of has the description gave me like kind of vibes of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie, because it's like on an island a murder happens and no one knows really how it happened, but it has to be someone that's there. So excited for both of those. This, oh, the middle shelf is challenging with the hardcovers on there. I have to rethink how I'm storing these. Okay, yeah, that one's just gonna stay there. Breathless by Amy McCulloch. This is one where she's like climbing a mountain. I can't remember the description exactly. It was a book of the month pick, like early last year. She's climbing a mountain and something goes terribly wrong. Something sinister is happening with the people she's climbing with on this mountain. And of course it's freezing and cold and she has to try to escape that. Okay, Carrie Stewart Parks, Relative Silence. This is a thriller as well. Takes place on an island with a wealthy family. Catastrophe strikes, and the forensic artist with his own haunting past gets involved. So we'll see how that goes. That should be interesting. Another thriller that I've been wanting to try for a while, thriller author Lisa Jewell, Then She Was Gone. This one... Oh, a daughter disappears. A daughter disappears and the mother doesn't know where she is. And 10 years later, she meets someone who looks suspiciously like her daughter. So kind of goes from there. Lisa Jewell has written a ton of thriller books and is really popular. So I'm curious to see if I like her writing. Ooh, The Liar of Red Valley. My friend actually sent me this book because she read it and she was like, I think you would love this. So this takes place in like this creepy town in California called Red Valley, and it sounds kind of like it's like a cultish setting. And the leader, like the king of the place, is called the Liar, and he sounds like a not very nice guy. And Sadie is our main protagonist, and she is I don't know if she's trying to escape the town or what she's trying to do, but she's like trying to figure out what's going on with the Liar of Red Valley. So that, I've had this on my shelf for like a year, so I'm really hoping to get to this one soon. This one I picked up recently too, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. This is like a little old lady living above a tea house, and then a murder takes place and she's trying to solve it. Very much the Richard Osman vibes. I like books where elderly people try to solve murders. I just think it's super cute. This one was a recent haul too that I'm excited to read. This one, I don't think it's really a thriller or a cozy mystery, but I really wanted to read it, so I like snuck it in here. Greetings from Witness Protection. This is about a girl who's an orphan, and she ends up being placed with a family who is going into the witness protection program. And they put her with this family to throw whoever's trying to hunt this family off the scent, because it's like a family with a mom, dad, and one kid, and they want to have another kid, so like make it seem like they're a different family. Yeah, that should be good. It's funny, as I'm going through these, I feel like I can tell which ones I want to read next, which I'm so happy to have this like consolidated, because my books are a mess. Like there's no rhyme or reason. There's just like books everywhere, and it's like when I'm deciding what to read next, it's hard to just have everything scattered. So I'm really excited to be like, I have this consolidated, and then I feel like this video is actually going to help me decide, okay, what do you really want to read next? Like, what are you getting excited about as you talk about it? This is like book therapy here. I'm loving it. So yeah, let's get this one back on the shelf. Okay, we'll pull these out all at once. These are 3 just like cozy mysteries with cheesy titles. Fatal Fixer-Upper. This takes place in like a renovated house. So like this person does house renovations and there's some sort of murder that happens. Muffin Butt Murder. This is... I love the title. The main character in this one's like trying to sell off her family castle that she inherited, and she like bakes a bunch of muffins and invites the neighbors over, and then there's a murder. So... that sounds fun. And Live and Let Chai. This person owns like a beachside cafe, and a murder takes place like right on her boardwalk, and the person has like a cup from that cafe or something. So those all sound fun. All good ones to be like sitting on rainy days reading. Not that I ever get to read in the day lately. With homeschool and just sports and everything, I'm pretty much only reading like early in the morning if I have time after my quiet time, or late at night. But we can dream that I read these during the day, sitting here in the window with like a cup of coffee. We can dream. Okay, I'm going to readjust the camera and then we'll get to the bottom shelf. So I think this is an okay view. I actually got this really cool camera stand. It's like this clamp and it has this long like snaky arm so I can put my phone on it and like adjust it all these ways. I'm really enjoying it and I think it was like 12 bucks. So I'll put a link in my description if you're looking for a new like camera stand that works for odd angles, because I'm liking this one. It's pretty fun. So anyways, let's talk about the nonfiction. The Count of Monte Cristo is not nonfiction. I just put it on here to remind myself to read it because I'm supposed to be reading like 10 chapters a month and I'm still in my April chapters and it's almost October now. So I'm in big trouble with how far behind I got on that. So I put it here to remind myself like, hey, you need to get reading on that one. But on the actual nonfiction TBR, I know I'm not going to get to all of these, but this is kind of what I'm thinking I might be wanting to read. So If You Tell by Greg Olson. This is about like a super abusive, I don't know if she ends up murdering, but she's like a super abusive mother who abuses her kids, and takes place in the Pacific Northwest. So, oh yeah, true story of murder. So someone gets murdered. So it takes place in the Pacific Northwest and just has been kind of circling a lot. Actually, one of the women I go to book club with actually knew one of the daughters of this crazy mother growing up. So that's how I first heard of this book. So yeah, excited for that one. So I actually met this author, Ashley Boogie, at a signing event that took place locally. And this is a woman who lost her husband. He was in the Navy and they were stationed in Hawaii, and he lost his life in a tragic diving accident. So this is actually her second memoir. First one, she talks about kind of her meeting her husband and their life up to the point of his death, kind of meeting, growing, having children together, and just like their wonderful relationship. And then this book picks up where right after he passes, her grieving process, going from being like suicidal, not knowing what to do with these children she has, like being just completely lost, to kind of surviving that. So this sounds like it's gonna be a tough read, but you could just tell she was such like a strong, resilient individual when I saw her speak, and I'm just really excited to read her work. Okay, The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. This could honestly be up on the shelf. I have been, jumped out of my hands. I have been loving Cy Montgomery. She writes nonfiction. They're all about animals. They're like magical. Like she makes you want to go be like a research scientist. Like she's so powerful in the way she's able to use words and explain like scientific processes and animals in a way that just like makes you feel amazing. So this one's about an octopus and an octopus that she works with, and I'm super excited to see what she has to say. Oh, here's another sad one, The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. This is a pretty popular one. I picked it up. I think I found it used like a year ago for $1 or something. Children, super abused childhood, mother who is a little bit crazy, I think, father who's an alcoholic, and just story of survival. This one I really need to read. This has been, I found, if you watched my my video in January, like my goals for the year, most of which I haven't met at all. Mom, Master Organizer of Mayhem. This is on like my I need to read for this year because I'm not organized. I just really struggle with organization. It's really, really challenging for me. So with certain things, I feel like okay, here's what I'll say. I struggle organizing things that I don't particularly care about. Like my books, when I want to take time and organize them, I can do it. My homeschool plan, I would say, is pretty organized because I know how important that is. Like I have all my stuff together, all my stuff is organized. Our homeschool room is pretty organized. That's good. But as far as like the house goes and like cleaning schedule and laundry, you guys, if I panned this camera around right now, you would be like, whoa, Talia, you need help. Like there's like a pile of laundry there, a basket of laundry there, the bed's not made, the empty laundry basket's over there. I have an empty laundry basket here with just books randomly piled on it. There's like, it's just a mess. My vacuum cleaner is right there and my husband's towel is hanging on it. I don't know, it's just like, I just really struggle. So, and the rest of the house is no better. So I'm trying, and I believe I can do better. I believe I can be organized. I think the past 5 years has been really rough, like the transition into motherhood and just the chaos of twins, and I feel like I can be better. So maybe this book will help me. Okay, I'll pull out both of these together. These are both books I've been wanting to read this one forever. So The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. So Lee Strobel was like an atheist, didn't believe in God at all. When he set out to write a book, he was actually like trying to prove that Jesus didn't exist. Like he was gonna go and say like, this Jesus did not exist. This is the reasons why, like historically, that this man could not have existed. And he ended up like converting himself, like when he studied like the historical evidence and the like not only the Bible but like historical documents from the time around when Jesus lived. He like was convinced that Jesus definitely did live. So I've wanted to read this book forever. I just think it should be super interesting. I'm a Christian. I believed in Jesus like my whole life, but I'm very interested in like the historical aspect lately of the resurrection, and it's so neat. This book actually kind of goes along with this, and I picked this up a while ago. It's Unearthing the Bible by Titus Kennedy, and this has like a bunch of like archaeological evidence that's found that coincides like with what the Bible says. So like rocks that were found like when the Egyptians that were from the era of like when the Israelites were in Egypt, things like that. Like I kind of geek out on it. I think it's like super interesting, and it's interesting because it's not super like widespread, because you know, our culture is not, I would say our culture is not really pro-Christianity at this point, and that is definitely due to some of the ways Christians have acted. But I think, yeah, so I think when evidence like this is found, it's not like broadcasted on the news, you know what I mean? That, hey, this supports the flood, or hey, this supports, you know, the Exodus, or like, hey, this shows that like Jesus really lived, like, so we don't see a lot of that. So finding and hunting down books like this is just like super cool to me. And do any one thing, like does any one thing in this book prove like that everything in the Bible is true? Like, no, but it's like, it's just super cool seeing like how there's tons of evidence that like the Bible is not like a book of fairy tales, because there are actual like historical documents and historical like evidence to back it up. So I kind of geek out about stuff like that. I think it's really cool because I believe Jesus is real, and yeah, I'm just excited to get to these. Again, I don't know, I'm hoping I'm at least gonna flip through this a little bit more, because this is like an easy thing to just like flip through a couple pages at a time. I don't know if I'll get to Case for Christ right now, but super excited to read that one. Okay, then we have some astronaut books. Because you know I love my astronaut books. I have a NetGalley book I'm reading right now. I'm not going to be able to pull these out, am I? Maybe. Oh, okay, I got them. I'm reading a NetGalley book right now, and I think it's already been released. It's The Six, and it's about the first 6 women astronauts. And I'm loving it. So Sally Ride being the first woman in space, but also talks a lot about the other 5 women that were in her training class, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, the other 5 women, I didn't even know their names before reading it. So really interesting. So we'll have a review on that soon. I also have John Glenn memoir. This was the first American to circle the globe. And Scott Kelly, who at one point several years ago set the record for longest time being in space. I think it's been broken like several times by now. But these are memoirs by both of these gentlemen. So I have been wanting to get to those for a while. So I hope I do. I'm not going to try to shove those back in yet. Last but not least, the Oregon Trail. I found this used at Goodwill. I think the Oregon Trail is super interesting, and I want to hear just some more stories about it. It's fascinating stories about 29 events that happened on the Oregon Trail, including little known episodes. So I love researching topics that I like know kind of broadly, and seeing how much I can learn and expand upon them. Nonfiction really does that for me. And it's funny because I hated nonfiction in high school. Like I hated it, but I didn't have books like this. You know what I mean? I didn't have books on like topics I was interested in. I'm just really excited to get to this. So that's all. That was a lot. This video is probably going to be long. I'll try to edit it down. If you have read any of these, let me know. If you want a buddy read any of them, let me know too. Because again, I'm not really sure like where this is gonna go. I know for sure, like, I mean, can you tell I'm gonna read this one for sure? Like, I got so excited talking about that. So definitely that one will be read. As far as the others, we'll kind of see how it goes and how the months go and how my time treats me. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two. And if you're having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana.